What's up, y'all? Welcome to episode 15 of Liquid Life, featuring one of my dear friends, Megan Olivia Ebel. Megan is a curator, philanthropist, patron of the arts, and artist herself, if I do so say. If I do say so myself.
There have been times.
the occasion.
The occasion when I feel it.
Megan is definitely going to be part of the next performance piece, so
yes.
We're counting artist.
Yes.
And today we are filming here at my exhibition that is debuting for Untitled Art Fair here in Houston in September. So not exactly sure when this one comes out, but it will be up and available for people to come check out. And so today we have our 6 waters from our custom curated box from Salacious Drinks. Shout out to Ashley and Salacious Drinks. If y'all want to try these waters, you can actually purchase this custom curated box. It's $33 and the link will be down in the description. It's a really fun kind of gamut of international sparkling waters from around the world. And I've kind of, well, if you could get it to the mic here.
Oh yeah, there we go. ASMR.
And I kind of have it set up, and we'll go from this way to this way, similar to Hot Ones, and get into the craziest water, the smallest water, but packs the biggest punch, Borjomi. So let's kick it off with this red Ferrarelli from Italia. And you got a chance to actually try the
extra special water.
Yep, we have our first collaboration bottled water product coming out online here in the next couple of months, so more to come on that. But cheers.
I'm just kidding. Like swirl around, swish it. Okay, so when you're tasting water, what are you looking for?
Yeah, so with sparkling water in particular, the first thing, of course, is that bubble. What does that bubble feel like in your mouth? Now, I'm no professional water sommelier. However, I am going to do the fine water professional.
Is there a professional water
sommelier? Oh, yeah. There are many different.
There's like water graders. I guess that's the same thing.
Yes, but there's a number of different courses, and I'm going to take one.
Yes.
So that bubble, it's not too intense.
It's like effervescence.
Yep. These have been open for a little while, tightly sealed, but that carbonation does fade over time. Now this is a Italian sparkling water, and most of the Italian waters, Pellegrino, Perrier, tend to be lower in pH, so more acidic, due to the geological structures that these waters are found in Italy.
Right.
And so some people really love that acidic taste. Some people really prefer a higher pH level. But when you carbonate water, there's carbonic acid that is formed in that water, which naturally decreases the pH from 1 to 2 points, which is a very significant level. So the TDS of this water is similar to that of a Pellegrino, around the 500 to 700 mark. And do you know what TDS means?
No, please tell me.
So it means total dissolved solids. So check this out. Like on the back of the bottle, it'll actually put an analysis of all the minerals that are in the water. Cool. Now, when you're buying water...
Okay, I've seen this, and this is the TDS.
Exactly.
So I knew what the TDS was. I just didn't know the lingo.
The lingo.
The lingo.
So what water do you typically drink in your day-to-day life, Megan?
Honestly, someone put Spindrift in my fridge, and I've been drinking that because it's there. I don't love it.
But you're drinking it.
But it's there. I would say my favorite is, there is this company called Big Swig for a while out of Austin that I was obsessed with. I'm also a big fan of going into like a Central Market or comparable upscale grocery stores and finding the prettiest water.
Totally.
I'm one for aesthetics. And then I usually do look at the TDS, to use my new phrase. And I'm like, okay, how am I feeling? What are the things I need in my body right now? Which I'm all about wellness and, minerals, and I do IVs, which actually aren't super helpful as it turns out, but they make me feel better, placebo or not. And you make sure that like if I'm feeling sick or I need magnesium, which I now take every single day anyways, so I need less of that, it's not about favorite water, it's about what I need for my body at that point. And it depends on, if I need a sparkling water, I might be feeling more dehydrated because I know it'll make me feel like I need to drink more water as well. I don't know. There's like it's like a feeling. I go by the feeling.
I feel the same way about water when people are like, what is your favorite water? And I actually posted this on the Liquid Life story. What is your favorite water in the world? To me, it's kind of a trick question. It's like, who's your favorite artist in the world? Who's
New
your
York
favorite?
City tap water. Like, no.
I just saw they've added little crustaceans or like little shrimp to the not original water source, but the holding facility for most of the water that goes to New York City.
Oh, amazing.
Higher up.
I've been drinking that all week.
So people say it's the best water in the world. If you look at the actual reports and all of the disinfection byproducts that are in that New York City tap water, and really the kicker is all of the piping and how old that piping is that has to go to get from. So, you know, all of these tap water supplies come from living water sources at one point or another. It's all a matter of the infrastructure and how long they have to travel to actually get there. And then what are, you know, municipal legalities and also state legalities around what you can or can't add.
Right.
So my main beef with
it's not Houston water. I'm sorry. I love most things Houston, not that one.
It is so chlorinated here.
Yeah, you can
insane.
taste it too.
You can taste it, you can smell it, and when you bathe in it, like,
and then sometimes it comes from the sky and it's all in front of you, flooding your car. Drink that. Put that in your cup and drink it.
You mentioned Central Market, and this is available at Central Market. You might have seen them. They're a water out of Australia, and we've done some stuff together. This is 3 bays, so we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, Central Market has incredible water selection. Yeah. And I think more and more people are becoming aware of, oh, like the water that I'm just pouring out of my filter in my sink or my fridge is like...
Honestly, you're so right. I mean, like Theo Vaughn was just talking about this, right? I was actually listening. I know you posted about this. But prior to that on my road trip, I was driving a lot recently. I've been like all over the West and drinking lots of water. And, you know, I was listening to this in the car, then you posted it, and I was like, oh, wow, this is coming to the forefront. And then I keep seeing Saratoga Springs, which you were roasting. It's everywhere. Someone gave me one the other day, and I was like, I'm okay, thank you.
Let's go, Megan. She's one of us.
Thank you so much. That blue bottle is not for me.
Yeah, Saratoga, we did an in-depth review. We'll link that below as well as the Mountain Valley in-depth. Saratoga was recently acquired by Blue Triton Brands, which is Nestle North America, and they merged with Ready Refresh and Primo and Sparklets. They're basically the water monopoly in the United States as well as the world, and they've added Saratoga to their offerings because it's like the counterpoint to Mountain Valley. It's the blue and the green. Yeah. The water of Saratoga is absolutely bad. Yeah. It comes from 3 different spring sources. One of the spring sources is a co-packing facility that they call Nature Way Springs, and they add municipal tap water to the actual Saratoga.
It is the Nature Way.
So,
the pipes.
And it's so acidic, and I think the percentage...
It didn't do anything for me. I was super parched, and I was like, I am very thirsty, so I guess but I carried it around all over Brooklyn for like 3 hours.
Plastic or glass?
Glass.
That is a commitment.
Yeah.
You were committed to the cause.
Well, I was like, if anything, I could just refill this with better water.
Honestly, I'd rather drink New York City unfiltered tap water than Saratoga water.
Pour this out.
It's
just
so
go to
acidic.
A spigot on the side of Williamsburg. Gross.
It wouldn't be the first or the last time that's happened, I guess.
No, for me it would have been, but for you, we will leave it at that.
Awesome. Well, we don't have to trade this one out for any New York City spigot tap water. This is Villawiga from España.
Ooh, we are going international.
One of my most recent favorite finds. This was suggested from Ashley of Salacious Drinks, and this is the only fully effervescent option that is.
Do you ever smell your water?
Of course, that's very important. Now my smeller ain't working too good being in Houston with all the allergies.
I know.
But you can smell.
You can probably hear how I'm feeling, but I can smell it.
The chlorine.
I have quite the nose.
So what comes off the kind of nose for you for this one versus the first one?
Oh, the flavor is super different.
Exactly. And so people don't really realize how different water really is until you kind of taste them in order.
Yeah.
And so what kind of comes to mind?
This almost tastes more like what I would expect like a bubbly water to taste like, you know, that kind of like metally taste. Not in a bad way. Just like it tastes more almost like when you smell dirt after rain.
Oh, I like that. I like that description. And the main element of that is actually the sodium bicarbonate levels.
There we go.
So the baking soda component.
Science.
It really, this one really has a high level of that bicarbonate. And this is higher TDS than this one. This is technically a high mineral content water. But because it's still, you really taste that way more than when the carbonation is involved with it.
Yeah.
Super simple, really lovely water.
1904.
Yes, they've been around for
Wow.
a little while.
That's a lot of water.
And then this one, Gerolsteiner.
Yes.
You've tried
very
this one.
familiar.
Very familiar. Now Megan, we did a show together this past November, and she always had her refrigerator stocked.
Yes. With average water.
Yes, however.
Maybe we'll switch that.
You know.
You make the water drop and we'll switch it. We'll just only serve water at RUBY Projects.
I think
the fans will love it.
I think we're working on that, you know.
We really throw a good party, but sometimes you just gotta everyone hydrate at the art opening.
We must hydrate at the art opening.
We must hydrate.
Yeah, the Topo Chico, you know, you had it stocked to the gills with the Topo Chico.
Oh my gosh. And I love my Topo.
The main problem with Topo is that their level of PFAS, which are the forever chemicals, are super high.
Oh.
And then they got in trouble in 2019. They were able to magically decrease the PFAS levels by half. It's because they started adding high levels of tap water from Monterey to the actual water.
Monterey is kind of cool though.
Would you drink the tap water?
I would not drink any tap water in Mexico City, considering I live there part-time.
Yeah.
Absolutely no.
And so why would you pay a premium price for, you know, it's a complete marketing.
Yeah. What about remember when Topo went down for like the majority of pandemic and you couldn't find Topo?
Yes.
Was that why?
I'm sure that had something to do with it.
And then this like 1975, it's the wrong number.
1877.
There we go, 1877, wrong era. But that's the HEB water. That kind of was the counterpart.
Exactly. So HEB launched 1877 with Crazy Water, which is Mineral Wells, Texas.
Okay.
And they co-packed
I like
their
Crazy water.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay.
My main problem with Crazy Water is it's super high in sulfates, and some people are very allergic to sulfates. They can be really good for detox in certain levels, but if you drink too much high sulfate water, there's also Villeminroy, which is at Central Market, super high French sulfate level. One time I drank a whole bottle of that, and let's say
your tummy was like, wah.
Yeah, we couldn't really go do activities for a day. So you gotta be really careful with the super high level.
That's like not a water you want to drink when you're fasting.
Well, I would say
opposite?
I would say you would, because you get all these minerals. It's honestly a hack to fasting, is drinking high quality mineral water. Now the sulfate component.
The sulfate is the thing that I was talking about. But yeah, drinking mineral, if you just drink regular water during a fast, you're gonna be uncomfortable.
Yeah. And those bubbles really kind of like get you through it.
Yeah, I did a 7-day water fast a couple months ago, and boy, did I learn about water.
And so what was
I think it was right when you were kind of talking about it. Was probably right after you pitched to me, and I was like, oh, cool. Now I have all these facts. And then asking people that had done the water cleanse. I ended up adding like electrolytes, like basically salt to the water a lot of the time, which is, I guess, not a traditional fast, but adding any minerality to water, I felt like was okay.
We're gonna count that.
Yeah, exactly. And you're not supposed to do like probiotics or even take like magnesium or anything during that time, because your body can't process it without food. So it was a little challenging to find something that was like super, super high that would keep me going. I live an active lifestyle, fast or not. So yeah.
And what was the intention going into that fast? Was it for spiritual reasons? Was it for physical reasons?
No, it was like I had a little bit of a health scare actually. And I mean, no big deal, but we're all good. But I was talking to actually someone I'm dating, and they were like, you should try they should do a water fast, because it kind of kicks your body into ketosis and, you know, tells all your cells, all the bad cells, to kind of like fuck off and
basically
and regenerate and replace themselves.
And did you notice a difference?
Layman's term. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I noticed a change in energy, and I noticed a change in my metabolism as well as what felt good when I was eating. You know, like I generally eat pretty healthy, but there are some things like I can't eat chia. I don't know why, but it's kind of been like that. I was super sensitive I mean, sometimes it's just like in the cute juice you're getting, you
Yeah.
know, or whatever, and you're like, oh, it's not that bad. I usually can't eat like turkey, bacon, or pork, and I've not been able to do that very well since that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so what was kind of the hardest point in that water fast? 7 days is intense.
Day 3.
I've made it to day 3 before.
Day 3, I was like, oh. I think Lauren, my son, came home. He's 10, sweet as can be, not ever a bother, like literally never a bother. And I think I was like, I had the mommy growl going on. And I'm just a hangry type of lady anyways, so.
And you got over that hump in the next 4 days.
And then I was like energy. I think I went to a spin class on day 5, like, which is probably tisk.
And what did you break the fast with?
That's a good question. Not meat. I think I did go out for dinner. I can't remember what it was. It should have felt more important.
Yeah.
But it was like a normal, healthy meal. Like,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
It's so funny.
Good question.
Like, I'm such an all.
Would it do it again until you
Bone broth is what most people
Yeah.
kind of suggest.
Yes. Yeah, but with that, yeah, with the meat thing, I really have a hard time with that sometimes. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
When I did the 3 days in Los Angeles, we broke our fast. Jack and I did it together with like pho.
Oh,
But I'm
nice.
such an all or nothing kind of guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, all right, well, I've been so good. Then sometimes I
You're
rebound.
like, I
from
want a
that.
burger.
Yeah.
You're like, whoa.
Just the little Debbie's, just
Yeah.
shoving them in. I'm
Oh
like,
my God.
I did
You're
it.
like, Twinkie.
And she was surprised. She's like, you are very strange. She's like, you were able to, like, how did you go to
Yeah.
whole extra day? You
You
know.
want a man that can do both, a little fast and a binge. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So let's try this one. 3
Yes.
Bays, Australian water. Shout out to Olaf and 3 Bays. It's so fun to kind of get to know the people who actually steward these waters,
Yeah.
produce these waters, and kind of
What's
see
it like
that in.
moving water like this all around the world?
Oh my God, it's expensive.
Yes.
It's pretty wild. You know, all of these are in glass, right? So
Right.
you don't have to worry about, let's say, like a Fiji water where it's
Yeah.
coming from literally halfway around the world, sitting in
I mean,
shipping
sending
containers.
art all around the world is one thing, but that's like, I mean, like an entire flat of glass water. What a
Yeah.
mess.
And think about like Pellegrino. They're doing it and selling their water for $2.80 per liter.
This
Like,
is blowing my mind. This is really one of the first days I've been able to taste and smell a little bit better
Yeah.
than Saturday, no way. This is interesting.
what do you notice about this water? Some things are coming up to me.
This one is almost like when we came in, it has a little bit fruitier.
Exactly.
A little fruitier. I'm glad that my taste buds aren't whacked out. But yeah, this is a nice one.
It's so interesting because when you taste them back to back, you can taste those floral notes. And of course,
Yeah.
all of the water is due to the geology. Where does the water pass through? What are the surfaces that it's going through? What are the rocks, right?
You said this is from Australia. What part of Australia?
Yeah, so it's from 3 Bays. Now,
I
what
guess that makes sense.
part of Australia? I'm
Since
sure it
it's
says on the
called
bottle. Victoria. The
Victoria,
Mornington
okay.
Peninsula. Yes, the
Amazing.
Mornington. Down under. But yeah, they've won tons and tons of awards. This water has the highest chloride level of
Okay.
any water that I've seen, marketed at 400 milligrams per liter, which is super high. So my thesis is this kind of floral sweetness comes from that chloride
Okay.
level. Now, chloride and chlorine are different. Chlorine, chloramines, these are what municipalities use to make sure there's no bacteria and parasites to
Yes.
kill us when we drink tap water.
It's like pool water.
Yeah, chloride is an essential mineral. So,
Okay. I would like an essential mineral pool.
yes,
That's like the Saratoga Springs bath, but like
yes.
beautiful.
So Crazy Water, they have a hotel and a resort, and they have pools there. So these
Nice.
mineral sources and places, there's lava hot springs in Idaho that have 17 mineral pools.
Yeah.
They have a resort there. That is my dream, is to have a health and wellness resort.
Amazing.
And there's one that actually just opened up in between Austin and San Antonio that is a mineral spring.
What's it called?
I don't know what it's called. They're like completely booked out this summer.
We'll
But
find
it
a way.
Seems, it seems like really
Like,
cool.
I'm dying. Please, no, that's not funny. I'm not doing well. But this is such a trend too. We went on a little vacay to Valle de Bravo in back in like Thanksgiving of last year, which is a beautiful, it's like Mexico's Lake Como. Absolutely lovely. One of the best parasailing or parasailing destinations like in the world. Absolutely gorgeous. And there's like a little town nearby, I mean, gorgeous homes, etc. And they have a bunch of health spas or health resorts that are really focusing on like hot springs in the area and like medicinal water. And I just love that that's becoming such a big thing. I mean, I was just similarly in the Hamptons a couple days ago in like Surf Lodge, which is pretty well known as like the party viral place to be right now. Not a place where you would think would be a very healthy place to be for most individuals. They had an entire room through this company called Body Language, and they were doing all sorts of different treatments. We're talking about minerality in water. I mean, it was such a cool little hotspot, and it's these companies that are putting so much emphasis on like health exploration.
Yeah.
It's not just like get out in the go to Big Ben and walk around. It's like go to Big Ben and like fix your body, and beyond just like the Calavi type spa, which is so expensive, and like a 4-week program of possibly not eating and intense workouts, and reserved for, shall we say, the rich and famous. It's a very closed door thing. This is for everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm really, it's just amazing. I love that.
I do too. And like, what a beautiful little kind of picture of the duality, the nature of humanity.
You
where
can
it's
go
like,
to the Hamptons and restore yourself.
And it's so funny. It's like, we now have to pay lots of money to go live like we did thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating.
You could also just live off grid and have a nice little mineral pool nearby.
Totally.
But
OTG.
yeah,
off the grid,
that's
baby.
almost more unachievable than just going to the Hamptons for a few days.
For some.
For some.
In the art world, for sure.
Yes.
All right, you ready for this next one? Now, this is where we really kind of get crazy.
Let's go.
We're running through it right now. Right?
I love this bottle as well. Like I said, I'd sometimes just go pick the prettiest bottle, and I would probably pick that.
Well, good.
And I'd like walk around at Memorial Park or Herman Park with my fancy heavy water bottle.
Well, let's
some reps.
Let's have you try it first before you want to say you're going to go drink this whole thing.
It's not about how it tastes, it's how it looks.
Well, there's a whole meme about
Just
that
kidding.
in LA of like, the Silver Lake boys with their Mountain Valley, like
Exactly.
water's new accessory.
Or the remember Voss was so popular. It's like if you had the Voss bottle. Cheers. We haven't been
You ready
cheersing.
for this
It's
one?
bad luck. Oh wow, I would not walk around and drink this on a lovely casual day.
Yeah.
That's funny that I said that though.
Yep.
This is your health spa retreat.
However, if you were to go to Memorial Park in the summertime and be running, this is exactly the water you'd want to drink.
Good for you.
Because it's so high in sodium. I think there's over 1,100 milligrams of sodium in this.
It tastes good, but I don't want to be like, oh, I'm so thirsty, and then drink this.
Yeah, this is not something that after a big sweat you're like excited to taste, but it's probably what your body needs.
So good for you.
Because when you sweat, right, in the sauna, for example, you're sweating out all the heavy metals, you're detoxing all the bad things, but you're also detoxing all of those minerals that you actually need. And so rehydrating with the proper water after an intense sweat is really important.
I actually would want to drink this. I love salt water. I drink salt water most of the time. If you see me drinking water, it has salt in it. Almost never would I not put salt in it. And there's even this drink in Mexico City and probably all over Mexico called a suero, and it's like a shot of lemon juice, and then your bubbly water of choice, and then a salt rim, and it is like obviously packed with electrolytes. It is a lifesaver. You've had a party night out, one suero back in action, like so good, and this is like the bottled water version of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is
exactly.
great.
So this is from Spain as well. This is
I
Vichy
like
Catalan. You can get this one in a lot of stores, actually, Erewhons around the country. You can get them at Fine Grocers, Central Market, and
Nice.
this bottle is kind of representing the cobblestone streets.
I have to go back to Central Market right after this.
And you're
so
gonna cop some.
I'm gonna
some
be
good
like,
stuff.
take the lot.
They have so much fun stuff. It's really.
Oh my gosh, I have the best time. I can't go in there these days. Like,
There's a water.
$4 million.
Easy to do there. There's a water called Sibllia. It's, I think, from Spain as well. Might be Italian, but it's like
Sibllia?
Sibllia, Sibilla. It's like the European mountain valley. Very similar mineral composition, like no sodium basically.
Yeah.
I would recommend the still version, but check it out. It's in a green bottle. It's a beautiful
Wait,
bottle.
you'd recommend distilled version? Isn't there a thing where you're not supposed to drink distilled water? Is that? I've always heard that.
So I recommended the still version.
Still, I was like, distilled water.
Distilled water. So
Has
what do you
nada.
think of distilled water? Like, how does that compare to purified when that comes to mind for you?
I don't know. I just have heard you're not supposed to drink
Exactly.
it. And I'm like, no.
So distilled
it's
water.
like aspirin. Why do we not take it? It's because
I think
grandma said
aspirin's
not
like a
to.
thing of the past with Tylenol
Yeah.
and ibuprofen. But with distilled water, that is completely purified water. So it has a TDS of 0. And distilled water is for mechanical applications. So if
Yes.
you're using your diffuser, you want distilled water in that because
For your
then
humidor.
exactly, it will collect the minerals, right? And so you'll have this calcium buildup. Some people use distilled water for tea and coffee who are purists because they don't want the minerality of the water getting in the way of the flavor of the tea or the coffee.
I guess, yeah.
And so purified water is municipally sourced, localized tap water, and the TDS is usually between 20 to 40. So very, very low, but there is still some minerals or organic matter in there.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you don't want to be, now with distilled water.
You just dehydrate yourself more.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it can be used for specific use cases if you're really trying to do a specific detox.
yeah.
Then but it's not, you don't
You're
want to
like
be
your
drinking.
dandelion tea in your distilled water. You're like, 3
Yeah.
days till Ibiza.
Really going for it.
That's toxic, yeah.
So you're getting all the water hacks.
Yes.
But yeah, it's interesting because, before I got fully into this, I'd go down the water aisle or I'd see water and I'm just like, oh, it's water. It's all. And I'd think to myself, I drink like 10 LaCroix in a row because I liked the feeling of popping that. And I'd be like, I'm
limoncello, I love it.
so thirsty still.
Yeah, it does nothing for you.
And one of my friends in New York was addicted to drinking LaCroix. I mean, legitimately would go through 3 24 packs a day.
Oh,
I had
have
an
someone who
intervention
should
for
meet.
drinking LaCroix.
I have
He's like,
someone who should
I'm
meet.
still
They
thirsty.
Head to head. Oh my gosh.
It's because it's reverse osmosis water.
It's so bad.
There's nothing
Which
in
is
it.
crazy because people are putting reverse osmosis systems in their houses to drink.
Yeah, so like my family has the RO system here
my
in
mom
Houston,
does too.
and it gets the TDS down to like 40 to 60 mil. So there's still some,
Right.
because the tap water that's coming out of our pipes is around 500,
At
600.
least you can use it for cooking or whatever.
Use it for cooking. I get it. You don't want to use bottled water for everything you do.
You're like, gotta make some pasta. Glug, glug, glug. New plastic bottle.
So it's better than like, just filling it straight out the tap and getting all of the chlorine, chloramines, DBPs in there. At least it's doing something. So, I'm not one of these like living water purists like you can only drink living water. Because a lot of these, anyway, it's complicated. Like we began the podcast with. It's like moving the ball forward one step at a time, and like hopefully through the work we do and the conversations we have and the more people
more
become
access to things that fit that script.
exactly, and it'll slowly but surely kind of move forward, and we won't be able to, people will not be satiated with being sold BS purified tap water at extraordinary rates.
Dasani.
Yeah, Dasani, they add back some particular mineral composition blend that like is my.
They're like a class C, blah blah blah. You're like, ooh.
Are you
that
ready
actually
for the
might make their sales go up at this point.
make their who's?
Dasani sales, just a little class C in there, and man.
Well, you might be getting
Dasani
hired
will
by.
come back.
They're Coca-Cola, and Pepsi has Aquafina.
They already have class C in there. Class Coca-Cola. Disgusting.
I remember my childhood best friend, his mom would only drink Dasani, and oh man,
Did his mom get like Your mom jokes thrown at him all the time. Your mom drinks Dasani. End of joke.
No, but I remember being little and really not liking it and always not.
Yeah.
I like the bottle design.
I didn't like her either. Like,
we loved her. Shout out to Lori, so
sorry.
sweet.
Still in the friend group. My bad. Love you,
Shout
Lori.
out to James. Woo!
Wow. I don't like this. I'm sorry. It's a great name.
Borjomi.
Borjomi.
So this is what you drink at the Russian Turkish bathhouse.
Ah.
Yeah. So the TDS on the Vici is about 2,000. This is about 3,000.
I've been to a Russian bathhouse and I did not taste that. It kind of smelled like this.
It definitely smells like this. And so what is the kind of flavor that you're getting from this one?
It's like sweaty.
Totally. 100% musty,
You know,
sweaty.
like when you hold pennies in your hand.
Oof.
That.
Pennies, yeah. Intense metallic flavor.
Wow.
You have a lot more to drink too. So
I know. I'm like, whoa.
I accidentally poured us a bit too much
It's
of,
okay.
of
Thank
the
you.
first show.
I better be glowing after this sip.
You won't have to drink water for 3 days after drinking this.
Done. Wow.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is a no joke water right there.
Yes, there is no jokes there.
So what are you working on these days? You have many projects incoming. You have a
I've just been
residency,
drinking water.
RUBY Projects,
Yes,
a gallery
no.
in Mexico City.
Yes, oh my gosh, that's such a big project right now. So we have the residency project here, Ruche HTX, which is kind of a tributary of my big project, which you know, RUBY Projects. And RUBY Projects is like, I just call it a collaborative hub.
Yeah.
Because it's an advisory, it's a connection between curator and institutions. My first job was at the Contemporary Arts Museum when I was 15. And I've never left the art world. I don't come from an art family, so I've just been like, ooh, I'll be an artist. And I went to school for art, I went to university for art. And then it was an art teacher, actually. I made curriculum for a couple of charter schools in Texas, in the state of Texas as well. And around the pandemic, or just a couple of years before the pandemic, I started working for a gallery here and loved that. I'd worked for our university gallery and stuff, but you know, as far as commercial, kind of delved into that. And I absolutely loved that side of it. It was secondary market sales, and then we represented, I think, almost 40 Texas artists. So I got a big dig into the deep, deep hole that is Texas art, as well as sales and secondary market, including appraisals, estate management, all sorts of stuff. And then I started a public art program, right, called TXUS Little Galleries. It wasn't around for very long. Essentially, it had a goal of bringing all of these artists that we knew through the gallery and through just the grapevine, essentially, that is kind of our art world, bring it through like this pathway up to LA and a pathway up to New York in the form of small galleries. So kind of like your little libraries. And that kind of got me thinking that like people don't get to access, it wasn't the first time I had thought about this, of course, working in an inner city school and teaching art to kids that have never even been in a museum or even thought about that, or thought that even art was a job. Even the class was serious, like so much different from how I was thinking at the time. I'm like, how do I make even people in the art world see this other side of like art experience? Like, how do I find patrons that aren't just wanting to buy something off the wall and be besties with someone creative? And that's not to say that all collectors are like that. Sometimes you buy something that you like, and then you're like, oh, I like the person that sold it to me. Let me go find out more. You know, there's like so many different ways of becoming a collector, but almost none of those traditional ways. And we see the market right now, like having a serious change because of this issue, almost none of those ways like actually involve the people that are buying our artwork in our process, you know, until they're deep into collecting, you know? So I'm like, how do we do patron first collecting? So I started Ruche, and Ruche is a two artists, you're part of it, two artists kind of collaborative residency. The artists don't necessarily have to make artwork together, but it's meant to expand Houston artist networks. So instead of leaving Houston to become, you know, a prolific artist or have the connections or work with galleries, you're able to do something here with an artist from outside of our city who is, you know, well connected, well known, just as perhaps the Houston artist is as well. And then we produce a show. I help curate a show in that space. And then from that show, a little extra is that we have a family foundation that collects art as well. So it's going into a private collection that will be an emerging art museum.
Amazing.
Yeah, there's like layers to this shit. But like, so I've been working on that, and that opened, excuse me, sick. I've had Ruche since March of last year, so 2024. And through that, I was like, ooh, I love Mexico City. I'd been several times. From March forward, I was like, I'm gonna go every couple of weeks and like really invest in that. I'd been going to, I'd always travel to find artists. Because I really wanna be outside of, you know, I can go to Instagram and scroll and be like, ooh, I like your stuff. You wanna come to Houston? And it's just not the same as running into someone at an art fair and being like, wow, let me talk, let's go to dinner, like drinks, whatever. And build a relationship before they come stay in my home. It's not my home where I live, but it is my home, you know, like it is my heart.
It literally was for many years.
It literally, I did live there, yeah. I lived there for 7 years before changing it into a gallery and an exhibition space. And so I went to Mexico City and was like, okay, I'm putting my time in here. I'm not gonna go to art fairs unless it's associated with Mexican art, emerging art. And started going down there, and then ended up meeting kind of a mutual friend, Nika Koplatide, he actually represented Georgia in the Venice Biennale this past year. Incredible artist, one of my dear friends, and now business partner. And then we have a third business partner as well, David Stein, who's a New York artist and has a tech background as well. And he recently moved down to Mexico City about a year and a half ago. And so all three of us have, you know, we were going to art shows, and we were like, you know, we're kind of seeing the same thing. And for Mexico City to be such a hub, we want more. And we're not seeing, just like from the same aspect that Ruche was founded, we weren't seeing that connection between collector and artist. It was like, oh, it's a show full of artists, and over on this side of the gallery, all the collectors doing business. And it's like, it's like a school dance, like boys and girls on one side, and there's like, you know, some awkward kids dancing in the middle, and we happen to be the awkward kids, like, come on, dance with us, you know? So we are starting an experimental art space. It's not necessarily a gallery, though that is an aspect of having a business in the art world, is the commercial side, but it's called NoMames. And the phrase is something that is kind of this tongue-in-cheek. It can be negative, it can be positive, like no way, or like no fucking way, you know, or no bullshit, or it's just kind of it's just a funny phrase that we thought was super relevant to every time we went into a situation where the boys were on one side and the girls were on one side. I love that analogy. And we were like, this is no mommies, like get in the middle and let's start to dance and create something that is collaboration. Exactly. I'm like, well, it can be a vibe. No, and so yeah, we have our first show in October.
Amazing.
We're working on our space, so we're kind of resorting to pop-ups, which I like. That's how RUBY Projects started. It was, we did I think like 5 or 6 different pop-ups, and we also collaborated with galleries in town on curation until we open Le Ruche. So we're doing that same kind of formula. We're also having we have a board for NoMames, whereas Le Ruche is just me. And you know, artists that have been part of the, or alumni have some say into like what's going on, or you know, references come through there. Instead, for NoMames, it's very board run, investor run, and it's meant to really aggressively take control of the changes that have happened in the art market that are visible to everyone else in the past year. So like Bloom and Poe situation,
yeah.
right? And like where, you know, these mega dealers are all of a sudden, and galleries are all of a sudden like, I'm closing shop and I'm gonna be here for the artists, and they haven't been here for the artists in the right way. So how could you be there right now when there are other programs like NoMames and like so many other programs that are just, you know, rearranging.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And like with Tim and his gallery, he's sunsetting the gallery, right?
Yeah.
Like what does that technically mean? And you know, we'll see.
Yeah.
I bet there's going to be some sort of physical space to experience art, because collectors, dealers, artists, there's nothing like being in the physical presence of the work at the end of the day. And we are all kind of addicted to that experience.
Yeah, there's a reason that fairs are so popular to like everyone, regardless of whether you are someone that buys art. Like you go to an art fair, if you haven't been to an art fair, you walk in and like just the people and how they express themselves is the scene. It doesn't, I mean, of course it matters to us. It matters what's on in the booths and what's selling and what's not, because that affects our lives a little bit more than what people are wearing. But you go in and it's like a whole scene. And I think there's something interesting, potentially, to be changed about that experience as well, because I do find that, you know, while fairs play a role in sales, they also play a role in like data harvesting and who's doing what and what work is selling, and how can we predict for these like mega collectors who, you know, deeply profit off the lives or endings of artists and galleries.
Totally.
And even institutions, to be honest.
And that's, you know, what I really respect about you and your projects is you're kind of working in these liminal spaces with Le Ruche and now NoMames, and you know, there's so much progress that has happened in the art world.
Yeah.
Like, it's incredible that as an artist I can provide for my family in incredible ways through doing what I love, and through creating beauty and sharing that with the world and individuals through collecting. And at the same time, it's like there's very much needed change to challenge existing infrastructures and structures that have become so over-commercialized in some aspects, where you lose the art. It becomes a product that is an investment tool and an asset. That isn't necessarily bad in and of itself. And at the same time, the focus, first and foremost, should always be on the art. Yeah,
and it's so challenging to work in these, as you call them, liminal spaces. Like we see, like NFTs were a liminal space, and now everyone's like, oh God, please, enough of that conversation. And that's totally valid. But like putting artwork on the blockchain, which is something that we've talked about recently with one of our friends, and kind of, you know, finding new ways for artists to continue to be supported by the work they sell, and also on top of that, be supported in a project that they want to pursue. I was on a studio visit actually this weekend on Saturday in New York with an artist who is in the Guggenheim. I was super excited, and we're talking about having him come to Le Ruche actually in the spring. I'm so excited, and he's been kind of a friend and a mutual for a long time, for several years now, and you know, now is the right time, I guess. And we were talking about the kind of pros and cons of working with these like top 5 galleries that get you places, right? And I think what I took away from the conversation, and it's not necessarily what he said, but you know, what I've been thinking about ever since is like, there's a point in your career as an emerging artist going to, like, you start making $50,000 work, and then you start making $100,000 to $300,000 work, and then you're like 5 to 500 to million plus, you know? And those are 3 different segments, and of course there's less expensive artwork, but those are 3 different segments that you're working in at these top 5 galleries. Night, Periton, the list goes on. But I think there's a shift in, hey, these are the works that sell, and I want this for the show. And then there's a point where the artist can be like, no, I don't want to do that. And then they become a pill, which is like, oh, now I need a patron to produce the work or support my lifestyle, but at least I can make the artwork I like. Or I can sell out, do a couple of those sellout shows, which will be financially fruitful because, the work that, if this is your most famous work and you make 20 of these, sure, your market might be a little wavery if those are not sold to the right people, but at the end of the day, you're gonna sell 20 of these versus a very experimental show where you might sell nothing but be able to express yourself, And he's like, it's hard to balance those 2 things, and I think through LaRouche, you're able to have your gallery tell you what to do and what sells, and you're also able to have a patron go, oh, you're able to have a show that actually expresses yourself in this residency or in this pseudo residency.
Amazing.
So, and that work still gets collected and it still gets promoted, and there's still a tie to your magnum opus collector work, you know?
Totally.
Yeah.
It's so interesting to think about that because, these paintings have become products.
Exactly.
And these artists get pigeonholed into making one style or body of work.
Right.
And part of me loves that.
I want another balloon dog and another balloon dog and another, and you're like, God, no. Like, what do you want to make? And he's like, I don't make anything actually.
Yeah, you just.
And that's also his dream.
Yeah.
That's valid.
It's like all this. All this post-Warholian kind of market aspect of production and what that means for artists. And for me, I always kind of bring it back to fashion. When I was in fashion, I had to make the hoodies and the t-shirts
so similar
to make money in order to really produce the couture things, the crazy experimental things that I really wanted to make. And sure, I enjoy making the t-shirts and hoodies because people could wear them.
Right.
They could put these things in their closet. They can put a zipper painting in their home, and
exactly.
They're worlds unto themselves. And at the same time, it's much larger than that. And I think with what you're doing and this idea of what comes to mind, performance projects, these things I'm really interested in that take a lot of money that don't necessarily right now have.
Yeah, for power overwhelming. That's right. It's what a wild time. So we started, for context, this art ministry.
Yes.
With 2 other collaborators, Logan and Chino, both who, Chino is now an alumni of RUBY.
Yes.
You are as well.
Yes.
And Logan's show will be during Untitled at RUBY. So we'll have the whole team together.
Yep.
Everyone will have shown with RUBY. But as a ministry, raising money for a super project.
Yeah.
We are essentially building a church.
Yep.
A mobile church with fountains, with a water base, with high gloss. The production on that is insane.
Yep.
And then we talk about moving it. You can move as many water bottles as you want. I think the church is far more challenging. There's video aspect and, performers, all sorts of things. What would it take to move a church? Just, St. Luke's down the road. What would that be like, Or, and then you get into kind of well, if it's a ministry, what side of religion are you on?
Yeah.
And is this a religion or is this expression?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard to kind of be in that space and think about what are we doing here and how do we make this work in a world, in an art world that doesn't necessarily think of projects like that all the time.
Yeah. And to me, it's an and both situation. And I feel like we're so aligned because you say that as well. It's like, yeah, like let's place these works in great collectors, great institutions for, you know, the financial component that they're worthy of in the context of painting art history for not only the benefit of the artist, but everyone else who gets to be a steward of this work, right? And also, like, let's really talk about the world that this rectangle represents and how do we expand and expound upon that. Like, what are you actually communicating? How do you bring people who might not be able to afford or collect this work or even be interested in collect, how do you bring them?
But do you want to make a print and then just like print off 50 of them and you're like, here's $300 a piece, whatever. And then you have this like weird edition print situation.
Yep, exactly. Hence, you know, post-Warholian gestures.
But I mean, even going back to NoMames, this like gives us an opportunity to do whatever we want. NoMames is not just a gallery, but we're thinking about, you know, we partner with like restaurateurs and chefs because that's an art, and like opening a hi-fi bar, a small hi-fi bar, and talking about like the F&B side of art as well, beyond like what artwork. Yes, exactly. You flip art on its head. You're like, if you can have a urinal that is artwork, that is a historical marker, then why the hell can't you have a hotel that's a historical marker?
Well, to me, the antithesis of Duchamp's urinal, I'm thinking, is now actually a bottle of water, because there you go, you have the perfect pairing.
You. This one's the most urinal-y one of them all. Sorry.
And I think we should end on that.
Yeah, I think, and with that tidbit.
So where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. My personal one is Megan Olivia Ebel, MEGANOLIVIAEBEL. Good luck.
We'll post it down below.
Yeah, hit that one. Or RUBY Projects, which is RBYPRJCTS. RUBY Projects, no vowels.
Amazing. And
if you're about that hype life.
If y'all are in the, if y'all are in the Houston area, come check out some of Megan's exhibitions.
Please, it's in the Museum District, and it's a 1920s home, one of the only unrestored homes in the Museum District that still exists. We even have the blue and white tiles on the corner still, and that doesn't, there's none, I live there in the area. I've been searching, there's nothing else. So cool, I'm so proud.
Amazing, I am too.
My little home.
Killing it. Grateful for Megan and everything she's
of
contributed not only to my career, but
and this is beautiful as well.
Thank you. This is a zipper painting from my last New York days, Infinite Blessing 2023. This is 96 by 96 inches.
Part of the Big Daddy.
Big Daddy, part of the Hope is Alive series. The zippers say Hope is alive, and the collectors can kind of style the painting and zip or unzip it to their liking. So yeah, it's fun to see this guy in person with all the other paintings that are in this exhibition.
And you have a wedding dress painting. I also have a wedding dress painting in my home.
Oh yes.
Oh yes, I'm the owner of the viral Dior dress.
Yes, Le Viral Dior dress. Le Amoureux.
Yeah. L'amoureux.
So
Preston cut up my $20,000 Dior couture dress.
Yes, I sure did.
My mommy loved that one. And I was like, I didn't get married, it's fine.
And now you have a beautiful piece of artwork that
that is perfect. It's amazing. It's what I see every single day.
I love it so much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Megan. Awesome. We'll catch you on the next one. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe.
Catch you on the waves.
And Liquid Life product coming very soon.
It tastes great. I just tried it.
Let's go. Awesome.
Bye.
Bye.